Okay, take out your copies, everyone. Will you take a test, ma'am? No, it's not a test, it's just for your revision. But make sure to study this chapter thoroughly. I might take a surprise test on the next week.
I know you have listened to the audio at the beginning of this video. Let me explain the scenario in detail. During a severe thunderstorm, a powerful lightning strike hit a building on the university campus, causing a fire accident, significant damage, and power outages. The strike poses risk to the safety of students, staff, and faculty members in the vicinity. Immediate response action were required to ensure their well-being, access the damages, and restore the power. Hello, my name is Ilan Chilian and we are from Group 11 are going to do a mock drill test on lightning strike in campus. Let's go. Let me start off by introducing my team members, where each of them has a role to play in our group's Incident Command Structure, also known as ICS. As we look at the ICS organization structure, the Incident Command Post is held by me, followed by the three command staffs, Rashuri Aranya as Information Officer, Nur Anisa Huda as our Safety Officer, Wan Ahmad Azim as our Liaison Officer. Moving on to the General Staff, we have Nathan as our Operation Chief Section, Joshua as our Planning Section Chief, Tanja Singh as our Logistics Section Chief, and Lee Celia as our Finance and Admin Section Chief. Now, I would like to explain what should an incident commander does in an emergency situation and what should I do as an incident commander in our current emergency situation. First of all, an incident commander will assume command in this emergency situation. Next up, an incident commander should also establish an emergency status board, followed by formulating an incident action plan, also known as IAP. He should also direct and coordinate response activities, ensure the safety of the responders, and also managing resources. In this scenario, I should activate emergency response protocol, ensure evacuation and safety, establish incident command structure, notify and coordinate with emergency services. I also need to assess damage and identify risk, and then establish a command post followed by coordinating restoration of power, implement and recovery plan, and finally conduct an after action review.
Hi, my name is Rashiranya. My student ID is 21000907. I will play as the information officer role. What is the information officer? First, communication management oversees the flow of information during emergency using various channels to relay accurate and timely updates to all the stakeholders. Situational awareness gather and access information about the emergency, collaboration with relevant departments and emergency responders to stay informed about the incident status and risk. Third, public safety messaging. Develop and deliver clear and concise message on evacuation procedures, safety measures, and emergency contexts. Fourth, coordinate and collaboration. Act as a license between the stakeholders, facilitating effectiveness, communication and collaboration among emergency response administration and external agency. And the last one will be the crisis communication plan. Contribute to the development and maintenance of the crisis communication plans, ensuring preparation and familiarity with protocols for emergency situation. Next, I will be explaining what should an information officer do based on this scenario, which is me as an information officer. What should I do? First, activate emergency communication channel. Utilize text messaging, email notification, social media to alert students, staff and faculty about the lightning strike, fire and power outage. Provide clear evacuation instruction and safety measure. Second, coordinate with emergency responders. Collaborate with firefighters and campus security, sharing critical information and updates on the fire extent, injuries, hazard, and seeking guidance on safety protocols and evacuation procedures. Third, access and communication safety risk. Work with relevant departments to evacuate risk from the lightning strike, fire, and power outage. Share accurate information on affected areas, damage instruction, and potential dangers such as instability, electrical hazard, or gas leaks. Provide continuous updates on involving risk. Fourth, provide guidance and alternative arrangement. Collaborate with university administration to develop and communication alternative plans. This may include relocating to safe areas, suspending classes, enabling remote learning, or arranging alternate power sources. Ensure information on arrangements, schedules, and context in regular updated. Fifth, coordinate with external stakeholders, engage local authorities, utility companies, and nearby organizations for a coordinated response. Share incident details, access community impact, and coordinate power restoration efforts, ensuring ongoing safety concerns and progress updates are communicated to all stakeholders.
Okay, I will explain the role of the safety official as well as their duty in the event of an emergency. First one is stop risking an unhealthy activity. Number 2, responding to requests for aid and information in a helpful and controlled manner. Number 3 is provide safety advice on noise level, equipment use, and so on. Number 4, report incident and submit the statistic to the management. And number 5 is assign assistance to the incident site if necessary. Based on our scenario, there are a few things that safety officials will do during the event of an emergency. The first one, ensure help and emergency notification. Number 2, communicate with other security staff via radio and help arrange emergency operation. Number 3, alert the university community and emergency to dangerous circumstances. And number 4, if required, track and report to public safety and law enforcement supervisor. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is Wan Ahmad Azim. I am liaison officer for today. My job is to immediate contact with all agencies that are related to the current issue. Other than that, liaison officer will also in charge to keep all the lists for agencies and facilitates the review meeting. Liaison officer will identify the problems together with other officers during the meeting. It is important for a liaison officer to conduct postmortem for improvement. For lightning strike in campus, the first thing that I should do as a liaison officer is to notify all the securities and related emergency services regarding the issue. After that, I will initiate the evacuation of affected building by distributing out official emails to all residents and warning through social media such as WhatsApp. In order to keep up with the issue, I will stay informed about the weather condition from local report for future prediction on the next step. In case there are many damaged buildings due to the incident, I will coordinate alternative shelter for the victims. Lastly, I have to conduct postmortem with all the officers and securities.
Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and I am the Operations Section Chief. Generally, my role is to provide direction and support to the emergency response team while also supervising the execution of the incident action plan's operations. I am also in charge of receiving information on the incident and communicating with the incident commander and the other members. Also, I can request additional resources like bomba or police to support our operations. So in this scenario, as explained earlier, we are facing a severe thunderstorm and there is a lightning strike in campus which caused a fire and power outage. The first thing to do is to confirm the details of the incident and then quickly notify IC and the team. Then I will give direction to the on-site ERT based on the IAP. For example, I will direct them to assist in evacuation, to perform first aid or extinguish the fire. Also, while ERT is doing their job on site, it is very important to secure the area and stop any operations at the location. Additionally, since we have a fire under severe weather conditions, it is best to declare Tier 2 and request for external support. For example, bomba. And then after the first response, I will check again the status of the incident and continue to communicate with IC and the team. And then after everything is settled down, I will advise IC to declare stand down.
My name is Joshua and I'm the Planning Section Chief. My main role as the Planning Section Chief is to oversee the planning function during an incident or emergency response. As the Planning Section Chief, I will also lead the development of the Incident Action Plan, IAP, by gathering the information, conducting analysis and formulating appropriate strategies and tactics with the help of members of the planning team. Other than that, I would facilitate collaboration with other sections to help with resource needs and availability. I would also oversee the documentation of records and logs that are relevant to the incident. In this situation, I will start gathering information about the incident, including the location, the size, or potential hazards, to prepare a summarization of the situation. By seeing the bigger picture of the situation, this will help in making more informed decisions. Other than that, the incident action plan will be prepared, which will outline the objectives and strategies that aligns with the operation objectives. Factors such as evacuation procedures, firefighting operation, and resource allocation will also be considered. Additionally, the effectiveness of the IAP will be continuously evaluated to make any necessary adjustments. I will also collaborate with the logistics section to assess resource needs and availability. I will help in ensuring the necessary personnel, equipment, and supplies are identified, requested, and deployed at the incident site. And finally, I will help in maintaining the documentation of the incident as accurately as possible. I will have my hands in compiling the reports, records, or logs to track incident activities and status.
Hello everyone, I'm Tan Gi Sen, and as a logistics section chef, my responsible are provides all facilities, transportation, communications, supplies, equipment maintenance and fooding, foods and medical services for incident personnel, and all of incident resources. Identify anticipated and non-incident services and support requirements, manage all incident logistics, and provide logistical inputs to the incident action plan. Now, I will describe what I will do as a logistics section chef in the event of a fire and power outage in a campus building. Firstly, my responsibility is to ensure that transportation requirements in support of response operations are met. After that, ensure services and supports such as transportation services, environment services, clinical support services, and location home care supports are adequately supported by necessary resources. For example, making sure that there is enough fuel to act burning buildings and transport victims to a hospital. Additionally, provides briefing to the rescuer on current activities and unusual conditions to help rescue team make rescue operations easier. Besides that, establish communications and exchange necessary briefing or information such as support resources and adjustment resources with supervisors and other ICS functional areas. Lastly, I will verify that closing tasks of all logistic positions have been accomplished. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lee Silen and I play the role as the Finance Administration Section Chief. So, as this role, my responsibility will be to provide financial and cost analysis. Secondly, is to ensure that all compensation and claims are addressed in incidents. And thirdly, I will be liaised with the logistics section to ensure that all resources are procured. And fourthly, I will be overseeing the administration for vendor contracts, service, and equipment agreement. So, in the incident of a lightning strike in the campus, my job will be documenting the incident expenses. For example, I will ensure that all expenses related to the incident are properly documented. This includes expenses for emergency repairs, temporary accommodation, equipment replacement, and other costs incurred during the immediate response and recovery period of the incident. And secondly, I will be assisting in allocating financial resources. I play a key role in allocating financial resources to address the immediate needs arising from the incident. I work with my team to assess financial requirements and determine the availability and allocation of funds to support the response efforts effectively. And thirdly, I will be liaised with the logistics section chief. I collaborate with the logistics section chief to ensure that resources, including personal equipment and supplies, are properly allocated and deployed to address the emergency situation. And lastly, I will be liaised with the insurance provider for claim process. I take the lead in liaising with the insurance provider for claim process, and I will gather all necessary documentation to support the insurance claim. I will communicate with the insurance company, provide requested information, and facilitate the timely processing of the claim to seek reimbursement of the damage incurred. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Let's move on to the emergency status part. For the emergency status part, first part we have stated the incident fact the type of emergency, the weather status, and the emergency contact number as well. For the resource part, we needed resources such as firefighting equipment and personnel, medical equipment and personnel, security personnel, and lastly utility personnel. For the event log status, we have registered 5 events here, and you can take a look at here. And similarly goes to the unit log part. We have registered 5 unit logs, and you can take a look at that as well.
Now I will talk about the casualty status of this incident. And just for the sake of presentation, we have listed 2 injuries, Ali bin Abu and Wong Ming Ki. These casualties were recorded by the emergency response team under my direction as the Operations Section Chief. There are details like the next of kin information and injury status were recorded and will be shared with other team members for contacting next of kin, arranging transport if necessary, and so on.
Now I shall talk about the Incident Action Plan or IAP. Basically, our strategy is to firstly confirm the details of the incident. If there is a fire, we make the announcement and stop the operations at the location, and then evacuate non-responders and extinguish the fire. Our priorities here is PAIR, People, Environment, Assets and Reputation. In the initial response, the controller operator will request confirmation of the incident and inform the Operations Section Chief. And then the Operations Section Chief will confirm the details and inform the incident commander and other team members. The Operations Section Chief is also in charge of securing the area, stopping the operations at the location and giving direction to Emergency Response Team or ERT. Then the first response will be at the location, where the ERT will be under the direction of Operations Section Chief, and they will be in charge of assisting in evacuation, performing first aid, determining fire source, protecting exposed assets, extinguishing the fire, closing off the area, and also checking the head count. Here they also determine the casualty status, and they will also advise Operations Section Chief to request for external support like bomba and then declare Tier 2. They will also direct this external support to the area. Then for the second response, the Operations Section Chief and ERT will confirm the evacuation status and brief external support on the current situation so that we can hand over the authority to them. And then ERT will do some checking on the area for some active hazards like unstable structures or electrical damage. And finally, Operations Section Chief can advise Incident Commander to stand down. For the third response, Incident Commander will perform an update, and ERT and Operations Section Chief will hand over the command to authorities. After one final check, Incident Commander or authorities will declare stand down. Of course, there are still some potential hazards that must be considered, such as the possibility of explosion due to fire or a possibility of equipment damage due to water jet, and also the possibility of hidden structural or equipment damage.
Before ending our video, let us take a look at the 5 crucial steps in managing this emergency and crisis. First of all, we need to activate emergency response protocol. We need to immediately activate the pre-established emergency response protocol, ensuring that the appropriate personnel and resources are mobilized. Secondly, we need to access to the situation and establish priorities first. Conduct a thorough assessment of the situation to determine the extent of the damage, potential risk, and immediate priorities. Thirdly, we need to communicate very effectively. Establishing clear and reliable communication channels is very much needed to ensure accurate and timely dissemination of information. Fourthly, we need to coordinate resources and respond effectively. Coordinate the allocation and development of resources to effectively respond to the emergency. And lastly, we need to evaluate and learn from the incident. After the immediate response plan, conduct a thorough evaluation is really needed for the incident to identify a strength and areas that needed improvement. That's all from us. Thank you.